We invited Congressman Clyde and Senator Johnson to come on the program tonight. Both declined. Congresswoman Stephanie Murphy accepted. She's a Democratic member of the committee, and like everyone in that room, owes a lot to the witnesses today.
You know, I have two young children. I have a 10-year-old son and a 7-year-old daughter. And they're the light of my life. And the reason I was able to hug them again was because of the courage that you and your fellow officers showed that day.
Congresswoman Murphy joins us now. Congresswoman, just hearing that again after surviving the attack in the first place and hearing the officers recount their stories in person earlier today, I mean, does it make the whitewashing of January 6th by some of your Republican colleagues even more sickening to contemplate and too difficult to explain?
It's good to be with you tonight, Anderson. And I think when you listen to the testimony today, it was heart-wrenching. Those officers went through a lot. The members on the Select Committee also shared bits and pieces of their experience that day. And in many ways, we relived January 6th together. And what I think we saw was that the officers were disgusted by the fact that there are colleagues of mine who continue to try to deny that January 6th was an attack on the Capitol. They feel offended that they protected these people and they fought for our democracy, and now these people are trying to whitewash their experience and diminish their experience after all that they did. And obviously, from my personal perspective, I'm on this committee because I want to find the truth and ensure accountability for what happened on January 6th, because we can't allow this disinformation to win.
You know, for Ron Johnson to say that, that nobody was armed, I mean, you have Officer Hodges, somebody was trying to gouge out his eye. You have people using flagpoles as spears, as lances, as weapons to batter people. You have Officer Fanone, who was pulled out of a sea of rioters, taken to the hospital. He was told by a doctor he'd suffered a heart attack, later diagnosed with concussion, traumatic brain injury, and post-traumatic stress disorder. He was tasered. I mean, how can these Republicans say this and claim that they back the blue with any credibility?
Well, these were 4 officers that were hurt that day, but we can't forget about the 150 others who also suffered medical injuries, and they were also hurt. And the fact that those people were hurt in this with the rioters using all kinds of weapons, including having brought IEDs to the Capitol complex, as well as bear spray and all of the things that you saw in those videos during the hearing. It is incredibly hypocritical for the Republicans, who say they are the party of law and order, to turn a blind eye to the clear lawlessness and the attacks on law enforcement on January 6th.
I want to play a little bit more of what you said today.
You didn't realize that other parts of the Capitol had been breached, but you really felt like you were the last line of defense. Well, I'm telling you that you were our last line of defense. And during the exact period of time, Officer Hodges, in that video where you were sacrificing your body to hold that door, it gave Congresswoman Rice and I and the Capitol Police officers who had been sent to extract us the freedom of movement on that hallway to escape.
You were not the only member of the committee who got emotional today. It's really striking how still, months later, it is still very emotional, not only for the police officers, but for you and other members.
It's emotional to me, not just because of the fear that I might have felt on January 6th, but it's emotional for me because of the disappointment I feel. I am a proud American who loves this country and this democracy, but I'm a naturalized citizen who escaped an authoritarian country. And what I saw on that day was inconsistent with what I know America to be. And I think when you heard some of the other members get emotional, it's because it was driven by their love of country and their fear for our future.
Republican Congresswoman Liz Cheney spoke today about the need to get out subpoenas quickly, to follow them all the way through the courts if necessary. CNN is reporting that the Justice Department has ruled that former Trump administration officials can now testify about the former president's actions leading up to the insurrection. Who do you want to hear from, and do you think any of them will actually cooperate?
There's a wide group of people that we need to hear from, and we will follow the evidence to whomever or whatever it leads. And what I think we will have to do is use all the powers of the committee to bring forward anybody who was present for those conversations, whether it's the elected official or their staff or anybody else that was involved. And our committee intends to do that because we need to lay out the full set of information from the lead up to January 6th all the way through the actual events of January 6th, and to see if there's continued planning for political violence to create a political outcome.
Congresswoman Murphy, I appreciate your time today. Thank you. More known Republican lawmakers, some of whom could not be bothered to hear from the office.